Welcome to the Miracle You, guiding you on the journey towards finding passion and purpose, and how to discover, create, and live a life by your design. Whether your success has been plentiful or your missed opportunities have been overwhelming, we can help you become a more empowered, masterful person and show you how to share your gift with the world. It's time to inspire change from within with the host of the Miracle You, Vince Kramer.
Hello, imagination. I'm Vince Kramer, your host, and welcome to the Miracle You, where you learn about the magic of living your life by finding the example in real life. There's a few things in our life that we're sure are going to happen, and one of them is that we're going to get older. Each and every one of us are going to get older, and as we do get older, there are many beliefs and many societal ways of looking at age that have inhibited people from really living their divine intent up to the very last moment or the very last breath. We're all here for a mission, and that mission doesn't end at 65 or 67 or the day that we walked out of work for the very last time. One of the most important things that I want each and every one of you to realize is that you're not your job, but you are your mission. You are your purpose. And as you uncover your mission, as you uncover your purpose, and you realize that you have so much to offer right up to the very last day on earth, and people are looking for what you have to offer. No, we don't treat our aging people very well, especially in this country. Many countries, they look up to their elderly for giving them advice, sharing the knowledge and sharing the experiences of the past. We have a tendency in the US to ignore that and actually look at our aging people as something that we are forced to deal with instead of something that can truly change the rest of our lives by learning from, accepting, and also understanding what's really important in our lives. So it's time to give yourself permission. I'm with Denise Lampron today, and in 2016, Denise took a medicine walk, a moving meditation in nature, asking the question, what does the soul of my business want to express? The answers led to her creating Graying Goddess, a color style and social resource for aging women. Just a few years later, Denise saw the need to expand her focus to include men, and the art of mindful aging was born. Denise has merged color and style with her calling to serve the aging community, creating the Art of Mindful Aging course and mature beauty and style coaching. She teaches the course in Los Angeles to the most joyous, open, and curious men and women who want to grow older in positive, supportive ways. And her mature female color and style clients are reaching their personal image desires and hitting their professional and spiritual goals. She loves growing older with her students and clients. Denise believes every moment and experience is precious. Denise Lampron, are you ready to share the miracle of you with the imagination?
Absolutely. I am, Vince. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. I can't tell you how excited I am. Denise and I have been playing tag a little bit on getting her scheduled to join us, and I want to share her story with you so badly because it's really important in this world to realize that as we get older and as we look at the older people in our community, there is so much there for them to offer. And life isn't over at 60 or life isn't over at 62. In many ways, that's really the point that each and every one of us can live our legacy in a new and more empowering way. And as you know, Denise, I believe that we should be living our legacy as when we're living and giving our legacy during the times that we're living instead of waiting for a legacy to to take hold, if you will, after we're gone. So first of all, your introduction was amazing, and there's really a great lead into who you are and what you do, but it's not there. So could you share who you are and what you do?
Absolutely, Vince. Thank you for that lovely introduction. I am recently, I've left full time work and I'm now in refirement and calling in the passions that I left behind, reconnecting with myself. Who do I really want to be? How do I want to live my life? And as I ask myself those questions, I'm asking those questions of my students because as we age, we really want to be able to answer those questions and not from a professional perspective, but from a place of our soul and our spirit. That's how I'm living my life now. And pulling in as much from source and nature as I possibly can, because that's what fires me up. That's what gives me grace.
Excellent. Could you share a little bit about what the mindful aging world is, and how you're helping people day to day?
So, the art of mindful aging is a forum where people, aging adults, mature adults, whatever you want to call it, there are so many names now for that segment of the population, but it's a place and a space where people can come, feel safe, talking about their feelings on aging, especially in a youth obsessed culture where we find ourselves. So many questions about the unknown. What can I expect? And creating that environment for people to have an empowered experience of aging.
You know, I know Denise personally. She's actually a member of our Quantum Circle, our year-long program, and the the difference that Denise is here to make is just huge. And as she steps further into who she is, it's really opening up so many possibilities for so many people. Denise, you were very successful in the professional world. What was the calling, or what was the wake up call that really got you start to listen to, there's more for me and there's more that I'm supposed to bring this world?
Oh, that's a big one, Vince. And I must say that being in your year-long course has really helped me unpack that. Thank you for saying that my professional life was successful, because I felt like that my calling was sort of put on hold in my quest to do what I thought society wanted me to do. I mean, you get a job and you go through life, and hopefully it's something that is pleasant for you. But I always knew there was something else for me. I've always been very attracted to elders. Part of my heritage is Native American, and we tell stories. And I grew up that way, sitting around my great great grandmother, my grandmother, my mother. And so that's in my bones. And I never thought of it as something that I would share on a larger scale. But when I started my business, a number of years ago, I was working with a coach, and she suggested going on a medicine walk. And I really think that's where my wake up call came, when I had the experience of a lovely, gray haired, stunning woman standing in front of me going down the mountain, and she was giving me messages the whole way that this is your audience, this is the group of people, you've been preparing for this all your life, let's not ignore it anymore, now is your time. And I was literally scooped out of my last job. So perhaps that in fact was my wake up call. I can't stay here anymore, the universe is taking me out, it is now my time to do this. Shaking a little bit, in my boots, but going for it, and being in an environment with the quantum circle that allowed me to cultivate my courage to go forward and express.
Denise, could you share a little bit more about that? Because uh, some of us have known for a long time that there's a calling, and we know what that calling looks like.
Mhm.
Others aren't sure what it is, and they want to uncover it. But no matter if you've already known, Or if you just uncover something, it does take courage to listen to the messages and to step into that calling. Could you share a little bit about the fears that came up for you in stepping into it and what you did to make those steps?
So the basic fear was that I didn't know how to do it. How am I going to put this together? The other one was, how am I going to finance it? And so what I did, I sort of sidestepped those fears, is it was a hobby for a long time. And I was gathering information. I wasn't really standing in my power. I wasn't pulling information in and doing things that really allowed me to step into it fully. I sort of danced around it for a while, knowing that's what I wanted to do, but struggling, really struggling with, how am I going to put it together? How am I going to make it something that an individual would be attracted to doing? I didn't believe I had that in me.
Denise, you shared the magic word, how. How has held so many of us back because as we step further into who we are, we're stepping into the unknown. And as we step into the unknown, we don't have any experiences from the past to grab a hold of and say, well, this is how I'll make this work, or this is how this will happen. And that how seems to hold so many of us back. The other thing that I want to share with the imagination is that in the past, society has taught us, and a lot of coaches have taught us that, well, just find somebody who's being or doing exactly what you want to be or do, and then just emulate them. And that's a great way to get started, but then you kind of go off on a path of being that person or being exactly like that person. So, could you share with us how you have made the art of mindful aging and you've made mature beauty and style coaching you?
Yes. So you said that coaches suggest we find someone that we emulate. And that was just it, Vince. When I started this about 10 years ago, starting meaning thinking about, this is what I'd like to do, there wasn't anyone out there for me to emulate. So I really had to figure out how I could reach people. What were the 4 areas? What were the 5 areas? What did people really need to know about aging? So I beta tested my concept with friends and neighbors, and everybody gave it a thumbs up. Not just the content, but the fact that they could talk about how they were feeling. So I knew that that was the piece that I wanted to bring in. Whereas you had financial analysts, that was what society said was preparation for aging is how much money you have, when in fact there's a whole lot more. And I was standing for meaning and purpose. Most of the world isn't going to have $1 million. So how can you create a well-lived life with who you are right here, right now, and talk about it? So my unique spin on it was to give the person a place and a platform to express.
Awesome. Awesome. Could you describe what that platform looks like?
Yes, it's a 4-week course, and we start off with just tossing about aging. What does it mean? Where does it come from? Where do you first feel it? How does it come to you? Does somebody tell you, gee, you've got more wrinkles, or look at that gray hair? That's the first sign. It's always physical. Then we go in and talk about, what does your body need? You know, and really connecting into source. That's where we start with meditations and asking questions, connecting with our higher self, universe, God, spirit, whatever name you want to put on it. And then after we talk about the loss that we've experienced from aging, we talk about what we've gained as a place of empowerment through experience and through everything that you've done in your life, and how that contributes to what's in your medicine bag. And then we talk about how spirituality can really serve you as you age. Prayer, which is talking to God, meditation, listening to God, whatever nature, whatever a person chooses to associate with, helping them to age better. So that's the foundation of the course. We always go off on tangents, as you well know, but those are the four areas that I've chosen, and I'm expanding it to relationship and sexuality.
Awesome. So, could you share with us how you are using your meaning and purpose as you express yourself through the course and through your coaching?
So, what I've learned in Quantum Circle is, as you refer to it, as the divine intent. Mine is I'm an advocate for full expression. And whether that's verbal or visual, artistic, however it is, I'm a real advocate for people expressing themselves because that's their spirit coming out. And I've long known that I'm a verbal person, that communication is a gift. And so, how can I use that? And this was my way of being able to match my gift and be of service to people.
You know, we're all getting older.
Yeah,
I mean,
no way
that is
around
going
that.
to happen.
Yes.
Yes, we can't. There's only one way around
Oh,
that,
yes, yes.
and I don't think any of us want to take that route, at least right now.
Mhm.
Or for even for the listeners who are a little bit younger, we all know people who are getting to their 60s, they're getting to their 70s, and in a lot of ways society kind of shuts that group down. Could you give an example of one of the people that you've worked with and how they found their empowerment and how that looks in their life right now?
Well, there are two people. There's a lovely woman that I've worked with who is in her early 40s. And I so enjoyed working with her because of her awareness. She is aware of aging because she has some physical issues. So that brought her to an awareness early in life. But one of the things I was able to do is put her in touch with people that she resonated with, that she respected, that she related to, who are 50 years old, 60 years old, and 70 years old. And they're sharing with her and they're giving her information. So she has a pathway. She's going to have her own journey, but she has someone to look up to and speak to about this is what I'm doing now. This is what's occurring in my life. Can you give me some input or information? Because we now know that 40 is different than 50, 50 is different than 60, and 60 is different than 70. So there are arcs here. And a 70-year-old can share with a 40-year-old in a way that a 50-year-old can't. So she is really putting herself in a place of having information from her elders that she wanted because it came through her missing her grandmother. So that's the program that we put together for her.
And it's bringing into, like you said, your Native American roots of really helping people tap into the knowledge that's available to them, not just in their families, but in society as a whole to share. So, in her experience and tapping into this information with others, what's some of the results that she's seen?
She feels more empowered. She feels as though she has a community beyond herself. She is experiencing through storytelling, through mentoring, she is experiencing being able to make better decisions for herself. She's not as isolated in her own world.
What do they say? No man is an island, right?
No man is an island. Yes.
In the Imagine Miracles world, we're all part of that one energy, and that one energy is supportive for us across the board. You said there was two examples. Could you share that second one?
Yes. So I have a dear friend who is an artist, an actor, and he is, that's a profession that really wants you to be youthful. And we've talked about him going beyond how he looks and connecting to the incredible skill, gifts, and talents that he brings forth in his acting, and to focus on the stories that he can tell that would be so much more believable to the audience because of his age. You know? So I
Right.
can't talk about the project that he's working on now, but it is definitely connected to a story that is going to be really enhanced because of how old he is now.
Later in the interview, I'm going to ask you to share a parting piece of guidance. So I want you to save that. I don't want you to share that right now. But could you give the listeners, for themselves and for those people in their lives that are moving into that area where we at least mentally believe we're aging and we're getting old, could you share a little bit about how the art of mindful aging or your coaching um, gives people the steps to move in the direction to find who they are and to live that fully?
So my tagline, so to speak, is changing the paradigm on aging. That's ultimately the goal. And to so with each person who takes this course, whether they just sit there and say nothing or they engage fully, the fact that they're in that energy, they walk away and they contribute to the collective of changing the paradigm. Because if they've had one thought outside the box of what they had originally thought aging was, if they've been able to reveal a part of themselves in a way that they never have, even if that means telling their boss or their neighbor, you know, I'm not able to do what I could do in the past. Or if they are able to open themselves up to what they really can do. Hey, you know what? I don't necessarily want to work 40 hours a week, but I'll be a great mentor. And, you know, that doesn't have to be white collar work. It can be, do you know how to work a machine? Do you have a trade? There's so many people that can learn from you. So the idea that they can, wow, I forgot that I could do this. I didn't realize that I have this capacity. So opening them up to even more about who they are and what they can do and how they can be passionate. Passion isn't for a 25-year-old or just for a 25-year-old. Passion is what drives you. And to find that again, maybe you were an artist, you know, maybe you want to watch birds or write the great American novel, whatever it is, you're not too old to do it.
Denise, what are some of the limiting beliefs that people carry into aging that's really holding them back?
After 50, I'm downhill. um, uh, After, you know, 45 for a woman, am I still attractive, am I still desirable? Oh, you know, my father had high blood pressure and arthritis, and so I just guess I'm going to have that too. I have no power and control over that. I am going to really not have a very interesting life. You know, once my father retired, he just sort of sat in his chair, and I guess that's what I'm going to have to do too. Now, they don't necessarily say that, but that's what's in their mind. That's the vision that they have, and that we stop. You know, after our whole life is based around what we do at our job, and once we're not doing that anymore, I have no idea who I am or what I can do or what I really, really want. That's what's so exciting. I think the best kept secret is over 70, when you have a better sense of who you are and what you want, and you don't give a darn what people think or what they say, and you're just out there doing it, you know. So that's where I want to get people to, you know, to their passion.
I'm very grateful for what you just shared there, and especially in the way that you shared it. So, what do you see is the biggest holdup for people doing just that? Especially those people that are approaching 70 or in their 70s. What's the holdup for them just stepping into life with that? I know now, and I know who I am, and I want to share it. What stops them?
I don't think they know. I don't think they know how. We talked about how earlier. And I think people need permission. Be, when you've come off 40 years of 9 to 5, you really are programmed a certain way. And it's not going to happen overnight. The desires that one has can get snuffed out over a 40 or 50-year period of doing the same thing every day, week after week, month after month, year after year. So permission, a glimpse, just a glimmer that there's still light there, there's still hope there. At 14 years old, what were you excited about? And many people still have that excitement there. They just don't know how to bring it forward. Who were you at 21? What were your hopes and your dreams? They're still there, still there. Maybe they'll look different and you will execute differently. So giving them permission to hope, to feel, and to think beyond. And it really takes an effort. It takes creativity. It takes a daily ritual, and it takes effort, and it takes desire, because the ego wants to keep us where it wants to keep us, and it takes a little bit more to push past that ego that says, you can't do this, you've been working as a flight attendant, or you've been working as an executive assistant. You think you're going to be a photographer for travel? Do you think that people are even going to watch what you have to say or listen to what you have to say? Who cares about what you have to say? So you got to push past that voice that wants to shut you down and keep you small.
Do you want to give everybody permission right here?
Go for it. Go for it. Give yourself permission. Find that place inside of you that wanted to express at such a young age. Dig it out, dust it off, look at it, have a conversation with it. You really enjoyed hiking. What can I do with that now? You really enjoyed makeup. Oh, what can I do with it now? The dream is still there. Access it.
So, what did you give yourself permission for?
Oh, I gave myself permission to speak out. I grew up in a religious family, went to a Catholic school for 12 years, and I didn't have a whole lot of permission, not only to speak up, but were my thoughts and ideas relevant? Did anybody care? Was anybody interested? And when I did the beta test for the art of mindful aging, it really began to reframe those old beliefs I had as a kid and even growing up, that my thoughts were valuable, that what I had to contribute was needed. And in fact, to really push it out, that the world was waiting for me. And I'm here to say that the world is waiting for everybody. We all have that role to play. We all have a piece to contribute. And it's the greatest feeling, especially as you age. This contribution may be more important than what you did for 50 years, that you thought was your life. This is the piece. So absolutely, go for it.
And as you know, Denise, I believe everything that we've done during our life is important and is part of living our divine intent, our mission. But I think you really hit the nail on the head with sharing that. I don't think it's just maybe more important or more effective. It is going to be more important and more effective because you have developed so many of your skills, you've developed so many gifts and talents. You really know how to deliver it to the world. And once you find that spark and you light that fire and you're sharing from that aspect, you will affect and make a difference in so many people. And I know, Denise, you already have, but even better yet, I know there's so many more that you're going to affect and more people that you're going to light their fires and help them light those fires to take who they are out into the world. Believe it or not, we are already close to the end of our time, and I want to make sure you share that piece of guidance with everyone that you want them to take away from this interview.
We're taught to make decisions from an intellectual position. It's got to make sense. The bottom line has to be there. And as I'm getting older, and as I share with people in my course, I think the child, the inner child that represents joy and fun, your spirit, who you really are, and your heart, love, all those components need to be part of the decision that you make, any decision you make. So I'm not saying throw out linear, but include these pieces because this is who you are at the core.
And that's what the world's looking for. And that's what the world's waiting for, you at the core. And there's so many people out there looking for you to share what you know, to share who you are, to really open yourself up in a way that allows and gives other people the permission that Denise was talking about to open themselves up. Denise, I know there's a lot of people that are going to want to know how to get in touch with you, where to find you, learn more about both the art of mindful aging and mature beauty and style. How can they get in touch with you?
theartofmindfulaging.com. And there are 2 freebies there, one for the art of mindful aging and one for mature beauty and style, the 7 tips to mature beauty and style. So I love to help anybody who's interested, and that's where you can find me. My email is denise@theartofmindfulaging.com.
Excellent. Let me ask you this, Denise. When they go to the website, will it be pretty obvious to them on which of those freebies they want to grab a hold of?
Yes, there are separate tabs.
Okay, excellent.
Mhm.
All that information I'll make sure is available on Denise's episode page. Just go to themiracleyou.com, look for Denise Lampron, and that information will be listed there for you. And you'll be able to just click on the link, go straight to the website, and learn more about Denise and what she's bringing to the world. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so excited to have the opportunity to share your knowledge and your understanding and mostly your love of people and to support them as they move into that space where we really need to believe and understand that each and every one of us as we get older has so much to share still, and don't leave it on the shelf.
Don't leave it on the shelf. Don't leave with your song inside of you.
Oh, what a great way to put it. Great way to put it. Don't leave your song inside
Unsung.
of you.
Yes. Such a pleasure, Vince. Be with
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You bet. On behalf of my wife, Mary, my business partner, and the entire team at Imagine Miracles, we want to wish each and every one of you a miracle day.
You've completed this episode of The Miracle You, but we have plenty more to help you discover your own personal passion and purpose. Head over to themiracleyou.com for free resources to assist you on your journey, as well as register for our free webinar, Discover Your Miracle Life, 3 mind awakening steps toward your unique purpose, or apply for a one-on-one Your Life, Your Way breakthrough session and discover your next best step on your journey. All available exclusively on our website. That's themiracleyou.com. We look forward to sharing more experiences of passion, purpose, and life by design next time, right here on The Miracle You.